Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to flush your heater core. You want to do this if your heater core is not leaking from the inside. That's very important. You want to make sure that your heater core is not leaking, and you know if it's leaking when you have your carpets are really wet, like near your feet on the passenger side or the driver's side. If that doesn't happen, then you are clear to flush your heater core. Now you'll want to do this if you have heat. You select, on your AC, you select the heat, but you get a little bit of heat and not too much of it. And that's usually caused either by a plugged heater core or maybe one of your blend doors or something like that are not working. But today we're going to flush the heater core, and I'm going to show you how. So the first thing you want to do is, if you have a strut bar, remove it. If you're a battery, remove it. And various other hoses, if you want to remove them, you can, just to get them out of the way. It's always helpful. And so this is the two little tubes right there. That's your inlet and your outlet of your heater core. And remember, this is your factory hose, and when you take your factory hose, you don't want to just pull it straight out. You want to like kind of twist it. There's a tool for it. They're called hose clamp pliers, where you can put it on and twist it, and then finally pull it once it breaks that little, the grip that it has on there, because the last thing you want to do is kind of break the necks off of the inlet and the outlet. And once you've done that, I have a hose. I believe this is the inner diameter. It needs to be 5/8 for it to fit on there. So I got a 10-foot one and cut it kind of around 7 foot. So I have 3 foot here, and then the rest on going into the bucket. And you want to put it right on top of the inlet and the outlet. And you don't really need to know which one is the inlet and the outlet, because we're going to reverse flush on both sides. So what we're going to do is, once you've connected that, you can just get a garden hose and put water through this side, and it's going to force the coolant and all the junk out through this side. And then once it's clear, you want to reverse it back, put water through this side, and then the junk will come out of this side. So it depends on which side is blocked. That way you can clear up on both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can do this with the factory hoses, but I chose to do clear hoses because I actually want to see what's coming out of it, and I want to see exactly how dirty it was. So what I actually did, I just blew it out a little bit, and just with air, and that's how dirty the coolant was in the heater core. Everywhere else, the coolant is extremely clean. So let's go ahead and flush it out and see what happens. Okay, so now we can start with our garden hose and just start sending water through this side. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's pretty cloudy. Some debris did come out. Now we're going to switch the tubes and see what we get on the other side. Okay, so always remember to recycle your coolant. Make sure you have like a jug or container to put in this excess water and coolant mixture, and recycle it at your auto parts store. So once after I emptied it into my recyclable jug, this is the debris that was left on that side. So now I'm going to clean this out and finish the other tube right there. So I just switched it right now. I'm gonna go clean this out, and then we're gonna come back and take a look. Okay, so now the bucket is clean, and we're going to start Doing the other tube, same exact procedure. Alright, so take a look at the water. Look how dirty it is. Oh, I'm siphoning it back up. But this water was clear. Remember when we finished the other side, it was clear. So now doing this side, a lot of stuff came out. And at this point, this is water. So there's no coolant in here at all, because it's already been cleaned out on our first flush. So we're actually able to dump this safely without contaminating anything. So check that out. All of that was in the heater core, and I don't know what those are. They look like little rocks. It's like sediment or something like that. But yeah, so this stuff plugs up your heater core, and it stops your heater core from being able to give you the full amount of heat. I'm gonna wash this out and do that side one more time and see what happens. Okay, so we cleaned it out again, and let's take a look. Some more. So just keep doing the process until you get rid of all of that stuff. And it might even be beneficial to reverse it a couple times. Now I'm actually going to put this side down and reverse flush it one more time. Okay, so now once that you've flushed the system and there's no more debris coming out, you want to empty what's inside the heater core, and you want to do that by blowing into one end of the tubes right here, and you'll see the rest of the water come out of this. So once there's just air coming out, no more water, you want to fill it back up with Toyota Long Life Coolant. And I'll bring. Okay, so you want to grab a funnel and put it at the end of this tube right here. Doesn't really matter which end, because it's gonna fill it up. So what you want to do is pour your coolant through, and keep pouring it through until you can start seeing it dripping out of the other end. Once it's dripping out the other end, you know that your heater core is pretty much full, and then you can take the lines off and put your original hoses back on. So let's do that right now. And again, you want to use the Toyota super long life antifreeze, and it is pink in color. So once you pour through in there, you can, if it's not going down, you can lift this hose up, or you can just put some vacuum on this end. So that pushes some of it through. It doesn't take too much. And I think that's about full right there. So go ahead and remove your hoses and put your original ones back on. Okay, so once inside, you want to make sure your car is at operating temperature, and then set this to heat, and then turn it on. And let's see. Before, it was barely getting any heat at all. Now it's at 133, 136, 140. Super hot right now. 150 degrees. $160. So this is plenty hot for anyone. Yeah, so a thermometer would probably be a better reading, but yeah, my hand is burning right now trying to get this temperature actually. Let's see if we give it some gas. Getting some coolant circulated, 170. So yeah, there you go. It is super hot in here right now, but that's how you fix your heater core that has been clogged up. If the first thing you want to check if you're getting no heat is, of course, your coolant level. If you have no coolant level, your heater core can't do its job properly, because there'll be too much air going through or whatever. Second thing is, of course, probably your heater core is clogged up, so you want to do the flush that I just showed you. And the third, and probably the more painful, difficult one, would be like a blend door not working. Like, for example, you set this to cold, and it's the thing behind it is just stuck into cold mode, and it's not actually moving. So yeah, so there you go. That's how you fix the heater core, and this is a great alternative to actually replacing it. And if you if you do it this way, you wouldn't have to replace it unless it's leaking. If it's leaking, then you have no choice but to fix it in order to get the correct amount of heat. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.